Hey everyone, so in this video I am going to be going over a kind of unique or interesting way, I guess, to stop some of these turn 1 defense teams that are a bit tankier than what people are used to. I know a lot of people don't have trouble with these teams, but I know a fair number that do as well. So I would just like to create this video to help the people who might not have the best weapons, but they might have the odd weapon gem. Don't forget everyone to like and subscribe to my channel for more content and information. So this defensive team is pretty tanky. An Aaron lead is a tanky defensive lead, giving HP and defense to all fast and tough teammates, and with this defensive team, it is very free to play. We have Arav, who has been out for a while, but he is devastating on some defensive teams. So if you don't have a payback team to combat this turn 1 defense team, well, there is another way. There is a interesting way, I guess. So the team I'm thinking of is a free-to-play team, and I just want to put it out there, you don't need all these toons maxed out. Like, they are efficient still without being completely maxed. A lot of my toons aren't maxed either. I just use them in a specific way and mod them specifically to be effective. Now, firstly, Priya. I know a lot of people don't have Rampage. They still have Daze, so what you can put on this Daze weapon is Team Player 4. 15% attack and plus 35 crit chance to all adjacent team members, as well as to self. This is really effective, and it really helps out any toon that is a leader toon on an aggressive team. Because as a leader toon, you are affecting everyone else on your squad. Next, with Princess, you'll notice there's not any amazing craft on her weapon either. I have another team player weapon and just increase the attack and have a huge bonus to AP when attacking on her. Again, doesn't have to be completely maxed out. I know it takes quite a bit of time, quite a bit of resources. The main components of this team will reside kind of in the order of operation and using some very clever weapons in the end. Now, with Lily, who is a free-to-play character in my books, she was definitely achievable in the House of Cards event. I am giving her an AP drain and impair weapon on attack. There was this weapon in one of the stores, one of the black market events, and I don't have it on this account, so I crafted one that was similar. Basically, the third weapon slot, impair an AP down, so when attacking, this just helps give her control. She has team player as well. I put HP on her weapon because when she rushes, she does flat damage as maim damage, so she doesn't need a lot of attack. Personally, I like having this little bit of extra control with a weapon like this. It just gives you another opportunity to stop the defensive team, and it's a more supporting weapon for a supporting role toon. Now, this next weapon is the one that I really want to focus on. So Pete, a lot of players have him now. He was the first available S-Class toon. There are many ways you could have acquired him, and a lot of people have 5-starred his weapon. Now, the weapon that I swapped onto him is a Painspread weapon. There have been some Painspread weapons spread around, but there was a Kapoor weapon that was part of the Rotathon event, and it's been in some epic weapons caches, and it's also a weapon that you can craft. Now, this is the specific weapon that I'm focusing on for this video, and it will help you deal with some of these unfriendly teams just because of the nature that it functions in. And I know a lot of people don't have it, but some people might, because one of the original S-Class toons out as well was Ralito, and some people did make him a Painspread weapon because of his bleed effect. Now, my Slater that I have on this team, Standard Slater, he does have a 5-starred weapon, but as you see, it's very, very basic. I like running Slater on this team because he's a reviver, and he's a toon that everyone could have gotten for free from the 4th of July, because he was just a free 6-star that they gave out, which was pretty nice because he's pretty usable in a lot of different teams. I like that he's a reviver. On his rush, he can also revive as well as focus your team. So this defensive team, just to go over it and kind of to prove that it's a turn 1 team, Arav has a 20% AP weapon to self. We have an 8% AP weapon on Aaron. When we go over to Nick, he has an impenetrable defense weapon. We have an 8% weapon on Maggie, and on Dr. Stevens, he just has a natural tanky weapon with fast healing. Now, to first prove that this team can rush on the first turn, we're just going to defend to start. We need to remember, though, that RNG can be weird sometimes, where it's all about the order of things happening. So because Arav ended up attacking before Dr. Stevens rushed, Arav did not rush on the first turn. But if we run that same exact thing again, we'll notice that Arav does rush on the first turn this time. He takes out my Priya, and then he follows up and takes out Princess. Lily is still alive, but just, and part of that's because she defended, so there's the 50% defense bonus. In this next attack, we're going to try and daze Dr. Stevens to start, and we're going to see a big problem with this that I'm sure a lot of people have had before, where he actually charges a toon like Arav. I did try to impair Arav and was unsuccessful. Basically, by attacking Dr. Stevens, it could be to your own demise, especially with that 40% AP weapon to other toons. Now in this case, we got lucky, where no one gained any AP, and Dr. Stevens didn't gain enough to rush naturally with a commander. So I got pretty lucky here. I'm going to play out this match just to show that if you can control the team, especially Dr. Stevens, you can usually work your way through a defensive tanky team that is, well, to be honest, a free-to-play defensive team. This isn't the only type of team that this offensive team can take, and this still is not the point of the video yet. Right now, it's just going to play out as a standard raid, a standard attack. I'm just going to defeat the team using the toons that I have. You can see it's a good mixture of toons. We do have Pete. He's a really tanky character. He can help revive toons as needed. Slater, command toon, focus, burn, a reviver, of course. It's great that he can revive on his active skill and his rush. We have Princess, who has a lot of control and damage. Lily, who can apply minus 50% defense to the enemy, as well as 100% heal reduction. She can also rush and apply 5,000 maim damage. So all effective toons here, all very easily accessible for a lot of free-to-play players, as well as light spenders, of course. Now, here is where we're actually going to show the point of the video. If we daze an adjacent character, and we Painspread it, you can see the daze moves. Now, because we attack in this specific corner, it went to Aaron first, but by commanding Pete to attack again, because there was only one status effect applied, the daze spread to Dr. Stevens, and that prevented the turn 1 rush. Now, this won't always work, because if Arav had a huge bonus to AP when attacking, for example, then he could have been command rushed. But a lot of people don't run that on his weapon. Instead, they go with extra attack because he has a bound weapon. So if you're making it a 5-star weapon and you're making a turn 1 team, a lot of people will run just flat out 50% attack and the 20% AP bonus and team player, for example. So this is just one example of being able to manipulate how a weapon and different effects work. It isn't always ideal because, of course, Painspread is a tough weapon to craft, but if you already have it, it could be a unique concept to apply to other abilities other than just Daze. A decent example would be normalize. If you can Painspread normalize, then it can help shorten a lot of matches. The only ability you cannot Painspread, currently at least, is infection. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching and listening to my video. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions, comments, or concerns.